very cold in this room. You're not cold?
Cold. Yeah, it's always cold here. Bring a jacket. So it's officially October. You know what that means? It means Halloween. But in the US, at least, in the northern hemisphere, it's the beginning of fall, right? Autumn, right? And that's my favorite season. Why? It's Halloween. Right? And there's also Thanksgiving. You guys know about Thanksgiving? That's a big American holiday, right? Do lots and lots of eating and hanging out with your family, and it's great. And it's just a nice season in the U.S. You know, the leaves, they change colors, you know, especially in the Northeast. Like, it's beautiful. It's like all this orange and brown everywhere. I love it. It's great. But where this guy's from, it's beautiful all year long, so there's no season, right? It's just sunny all the time, all the time. But yeah, it's my favorite time of the year. And I like it here in Madagascar too because it's usually the weather's good in October, and there's still like, it's not too cold, not too hot. It's like the perfect, you know, perfect. I know. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
All right, guys. So, hey guys, in Fort-Dauphin, can you guys hear us? Yay! What's up, guys? Good to see everybody. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get started. It's just past 2 o'clock. So again, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome to our edition of our weekly mission speaker program, AKA. I'm doing these different words like AKA. That's a new one, right? Also doing that. As we're trying to learn different expressions. So we're very excited today. We have another good friend who's got lots and lots of amazing stories to tell you. Last week we learned about the power of storytelling, right? And this is a perfect example of how powerful stories can be. Not only to affect the mind, of course, to teach us about things, but also affect the heart and ultimately the hands, right? To change our behaviors on certain things, right? So Kamaka is a good friend, like I said. He is a third-year Peace Corps volunteer, right? So that means that he did his traditional 2 years in the country as a Peace Corps volunteer. In this case, he actually did 2 years of English teaching, right? Just south of Tana, about 4 hours south of Tana in the countryside. So he'll tell you a lot about his experience there as a Peace Corps volunteer. He is originally from Hawaii, which is really cool because in the United States, you think of Hawaii as like a tourist destination, right? You think of that as like a travel place where people go spend vacation. So it's always really cool to actually meet people that are from there, born and raised, and went to school, and so on and so forth. So yeah, he's got an amazing story. He studied communication and a minor in Spanish. So he knows all about media studies, communication, but can also speak Spanish, in addition to Malagasy, of course, and I'm sure some French as well. So very talented guy, and he's going to tell you all about his journey from, I love this title, right? From the Big Island, right? Because Hawaii, he'll tell you all about it, has a bunch of islands, right? Kind of like the Comoros, for example, right? Different islands that are part of it. So the biggest island is, of course, called the Big Island. So he's going to talk about his journey from the Big Island to an even bigger island, right? Madagascar. In fact, I just found out that Madagascar is, okay, I'm going to ask you guys if you know the answer to this. In terms of size, Madagascar ranks what number? It's too easy, man. All right, here's the other question. What are the islands that are bigger than Madagascar's in the world? What is it? Greenland, yeah, Greenland, that's one. Anyone else? Borneo, that's another. What's the third one? It's not actually Australia. Not New Zealand. It's actually, you know what? I have to look this up, but I think it's another island in Indonesia, I believe. It's not Borneo, but it's, anyways, I'll look it up. Maybe it's Java. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. All right, this is not about me. You guys are here to hear all about Kamaka's story. So like we always do, please join me in giving him a warm round of applause and welcoming Kamaka.
Thank you. Yeah. So I have to do this in English. I forgot. Yeah. Ten English. Okay. We'll do it in English. All right. So I already spoke with some of you, but now I'm going to try to get through my presentation really quickly, and then you could ask all the questions you want. I'm in no rush. Okay. And hello to everybody in Fort Dauphin. Okay. Can I get the clicker? Sorry. Forgot. Also, is it okay if I just use the microphone? Or yeah. Okay. Yeah, this feels kind of weird. Hello. Hello? Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. All right. So, aloha o Kamaka kupono sonora dias ko uinoa no Hawaii mayau. He iwa kalua kumaono o Makahiki. Anoho vo ma Madagascar. Mazavave. Oh yeah. English. Sorry. I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry. So, aloha. My name is Kamaka Kupono Sonoda Dias, and I am from Hawaii, as we pronounce it in Hawaiian, or as most people know, Hawaii. Also known as the Aloha State. Is this loud enough? Okay. It's the 50th state of the United States. If you can see here, it's blocking, but my hometown of Hilo is located on the east side, right over here, Hilo. And here are some pictures. It's not going. Where do I point this? See my eye. Okay, and so today I'm going to talk to you all about my journey from the Big Island of Hawaii, Taninjazaku Voloani. Oh, sorry. Where there's waterfalls and green. There's even snow. A lot of people probably didn't know that it snows in Hawaii. Yeah. Mountains, beaches, surfing, more beaches, a lot of beaches. So my journey from the Big Island of Hawaii to Madagascar. So what led me to living in Alatsinaini Bakaru, Taninjazaku Faru, my second home, where I integrated into the community, hung out with a lot of little kids, taught English for 2 years, and found a new love for rice. Because sivari, sivuki, right? If you don't eat rice, you won't be full. That's what I learned from the Malagasy people. Yeah. So, this is my story. I was born and raised on the Big Island of Hawaii, Hilo specifically, and I went to a Hawaiian immersion school. So my first language is Hawaiian. And in Hawaii, Hawaiian is an official language, but most people speak English. The majority of people speak English. Because 30 years ago, maybe a long time ago, Hawaiian almost died. The Hawaiian language almost died. So over the last 30, 40 years, there's been a huge revitalization of the Hawaiian language. And I am lucky enough to speak it. My dad only spoke Hawaiian with me and my siblings since we were babies until now. So all our messages on Facebook, it's all in Hawaiian. When he scolds me, it's all in Hawaiian. When he cheers me on, it's all in Hawaiian. So after I finished my schooling in the Hawaiian Immersion School, where math was taught in Hawaiian, English was taught in English, science was taught in Hawaiian, and social studies, everything was taught in Hawaiian. We did, dances, as I'm sure you've seen on TV. We did these chants. It was very cultural. Everything was done with the Hawaiian values, with the Hawaiian belief system. Okay. Yeah. So, how did I end up in the Peace Corps? How did I end up halfway on the other side of the world in Madagascar? Well, what started it was I ended up studying abroad in Spain, in Europe, because I've never left Hawaii before. All I've known was beaches, surfing, sports, and that's all. My worldview was like this. But then I thought, why not broaden my horizons? Yeah, does everybody understand that? Broaden my horizons. Okay. So I studied abroad in Spain because I wanted to learn a new language and I wanted to learn about other cultures. And when I was studying abroad in Spain, that's when I found out about the Peace Corps. My resident director in Spain was a returned Peace Corps volunteer in Micronesia, and I overheard him talking to other students about the Peace Corps, and I thought, wow, this sounds super cool. So I went home, I went to the Peace Corps website, and then I knew that was something that I had to do. So I came back to Hawaii. My senior year of college, I was an undecided major. I had no major. And I decided to major in communications and minor in Spanish because I fell in love with traveling. I caught the travel bug. I fell in love with learning new cultures, meeting new people. And I just wanted more. I was hungry, not just for rice, but hungry to see the world and to learn, just learn about everything. So I studied abroad in Argentina and I finished my minor. I went back to Hawaii and then I applied for the Peace Corps. And when I applied for the Peace Corps, you could put 3 choices. My first choice was Costa Rica, Peru, and then for a third choice, I didn't know what to do because I was so set on going to a Spanish-speaking country. So as I was scrolling through the M's, I saw Madagascar, and I thought, oh, like the movie. And that's the only thing that led me to choosing Madagascar was I needed a third choice, and I've seen the movie before. So I clicked it, not even thinking it would be a realistic option. And then 2 weeks later, maybe, I got an interview saying that I was being considered I got an email saying I had an interview to be considered as an English teacher in Madagascar. I've never taught English before. I'm still struggling just to speak English right now. I've just been speaking so much Malagasy. It's hard. You all are probably better than me at English. And I've already spoken with some of you, and I know it's true. So I had the interview, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to go to Madagascar because I knew nothing about it. All I knew was the cartoon. So, but I knew I wanted to do the Peace Corps. So I did the interview, and when I was interviewing with the guy, he told me about the similarities between Hawaii and Madagascar. Mind blown. I had no idea. This island that I've never heard about before, besides the Madagascar movie, was similar to my home, Hawaii. So I got really excited to join the Peace Corps, to come to Madagascar and see all the similarities. So I graduated from University of Hawaii, and then I ended up with my head shaved, bargaining for chickens in Madagascar. Life is crazy, right? And along my journey in the Peace Corps and living in the countryside and speaking with Malagasy people, learning about the culture, the food, all the beliefs like witches and mermaids and centaurs, I started to discover some similarities. For example, the food. In Hawaii, we grow taro, we grow sweet potatoes, we have pineapples, we have mangoes, lychee, coconuts, everything that you can. We have fish, of course. Probably not as good as Fort Dauphin. I heard that their seafood's really good. But I discovered all these similarities, and it made me feel like I was at home. Like I literally went from the big island of Hawaii to a bigger island in Madagascar. So we also have our own version of ravitutu. We do it with the taro leaves. Yeah. And we also eat rice. Just not like you all eat rice. We eat it 3 times a day and we eat it as a side dish. But the Malagasy people eat it as the main dish. So we have a little rice with a little loka, with a little side dish. But you all eat a mountain of rice, which are and a small little side dish. And other than the beautiful landscapes and awesome, amazing food that I've eaten here, I also noticed a few words. So here's a little quiz, okay? Vunana, pare. Okay, so what do you think Vaha means? You can just shout it out. So let me just say this: the Hawaiian language and Malagasy language are similar, and they're actually in the same language family, the Austronesian family, which is another crazy similarity that I discovered. So Vaha, si vaza, not vaza, Vava, Vava, Vaha. Oh, and another one. This might be easier. It's not written up here, but what about this word, Leo? Leo. 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 Fail. Fail. Okay? All right. So you guys got it. Okay. I believe in you. You can get the next one. Okay? Lani. No, not like Lani Vari, but Lani. Think outside of what does Lani mean in English? I forget. Finish, not enough. See, you all are so much better than me at English. I already forget English. Lani is lancha. Yeah. And in the Samoan language, it's langi. Similar. All right. Alelo. Hallelujah. Close, but no. Do you know the term close but no cigar? Close but no cigar. That means, kilisisa, but no, that's not it. Yeah. Alelo is lela. Lela. Au. Ahu. Yes, me. Au. For example, I would say pololi au, which means nona au. Yeah. Very similar. This one you might be able to get. Malihini. Malihini. For example, if I am from another place outside of one country and I go to visit another country, I am a malihini. No, vahini. Yes, mazumoyen. Yeah. All right, and let me speed this up. So ekahi elua ekolu. What do you think that is? Ehiku evalu. Numbers. Irairu telu. Evachadimi enna. Fitu valu. Ehiku evalu. Yes, very, very similar. Yeah. All right, so Vita quiz. All right, so something that I discovered, kind of more of a realization being in Madagascar, is that I was a haole in Madagascar. Do you know what haole means? Yeah, like a foreigner. So basically, I became a vaza. And I still am a vaza, but I'm hoping that I'm more gasifutsi than vaza. So my whole entire life, I lived in Hawaii, where people go to Hawaii for vacation, you know? I grew up watching people come and go my whole entire life, and I was the local. And I would get so mad at these tourists coming to my place, this mostly white tourists coming to my place, speaking my language, wearing my clothes, my Hawaiian cultural clothes, eating our food. And then I realized, oops, that's exactly what I was doing in Madagascar. I was wearing the Malagasy clothing. I was eating the Malagasy food, trying to speak the Malagasy language. And before that, I thought these Vahini, these Howles, these Vaza, they're so disrespectful coming to our land and trying to speak our language. But then I had that light bulb moment where I realized that I just had to look at it from a different perspective. I had to put myself in their shoes. Because for 24 years, 23 years, I think I came here when I was 23. I forget, I've been here so long. For 23 years, I was the local. You know, I was the Zanatani. And then I come to Madagascar and then suddenly I'm a Vaza. And just seeing that perspective and gaining that new level of understanding made me not resent these other people coming to Hawaii to vacation. Because that's something that I just never realized before. I resented these people for trying. It's really bad. But then I realized if I resent these people, then I'm resenting myself. And I don't. I love myself. So I had to flip my perspective. And I realized that they're not doing it out of disrespect. They're doing it out of respect. Because what I was doing when I came to Madagascar, speaking Malagasy, Kamaka nu Anaraku, all that stuff. I was trying to speak the language because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be like the Malagasy people because I thought I still think the Malagasy people are so cool. You are so cool and so kind, so welcoming. And you have this welcoming culture that reminded me of my home in Hawaii, except I was hating on all these Vaza. But the Malagasy people were accepting me. You accepted me, this Vaza from the other side of the world that could barely speak Malagasy, wearing your clothing and eating your food. But then, yeah, you just have to look at it from a different perspective. And once I put myself in their shoes, I understood. It's all about respect. And that's what I was showing to the Malagasy people. And that's what these tourists coming to Hawaii was showing us, respect, not disrespect. And one final question before we finish. Am I American or Hawaiian? If you can finish this. If you can read that. What is the answer? Am I Hawaiian or American? Well, I heard you said both. And yes, that's true. I am both. I consider myself Hawaiian first because it's kind of like the Malagasy people. You live in Africa, but you live on a big island in Africa, but you consider yourself Malagasy, right? Or do you consider yourself African? Malagasy first. And that's the same thing in Hawaii. I consider myself a Hawaiian, especially because I went to Hawaiian immersion school and I grew up speaking the language. So I never saw myself as American. But when I came to Madagascar, and even now, I kind of went through this identity crisis where I didn't know who I was. I was living in Madagascar, working for an American government organization and called the Peace Corps. And here I was. One of the goals in Peace Corps is to promote the understandings of Americans onto host country nationals. So here I was in Madagascar, in a foreign country, trying to promote the understanding of Americans onto host country nationals when American culture was a thing that was foreign to me. I I didn't know how to answer when people would ask me, "What is an American dish? How do Americans sound like? What do Americans like? Do they eat rice?" And I would say, "Yeah, we eat rice, but well, I live in Hawaii, and in Hawaii we have a lot of Japanese influence, so that's why we eat rice. But I'm not sure if other Americans eat rice." So I didn't know how to answer this. I was always struggling trying to promote American culture at my site in Alatsinaini Bakaru when I was just wandering throughout Madagascar and people would ask me these questions. I didn't know how to answer that. And what I realized eventually, 2 years later, 3 years later, is that being an American doesn't equate to your beliefs, your cultural values, your nationality. All it does, it equates to your citizenship. So yes, I am American, but above all, I am Hawaiian because that is how I was raised. And all of my cultural beliefs, even taking off my slippers or shoes before going into a house, that is what I learned in Hawaii. And that is not all American. There's no single story on Americans. And that is the beauty of being American, is that we are so diverse. We're so different. So if you want to know what an American is like, you have to ask an African American, you have to ask a Mexican American, an Asian American, a Native American, because all of their answers will be different. But we're all similar. We're all American. And that is something that I just didn't realize before coming here and hanging out with other Americans and seeing how different I was from them. Because I came from Hawaii, an archipelago of islands just in the middle of the sea, in the middle of nowhere. So my view on the world was so tiny. But after I studied abroad, after I went outside of my comfort zone and I explored the world and I saw what the world had to offer me and what I had to offer the world, my whole life just changed. Yeah. And it all started with being brave, taking that step, going outside of my comfort zone. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable squatting in a kabune for 2 years and using the bathroom. But now I'm comfortable and I prefer kabune over a toilet because I am so comfortable being outside of my comfort zone. Because it's so exciting, There's a lot of awesome things that we just don't know about. And once we're educated and once we learn about it and we continue to gain knowledge and gain understanding of other people, you gain an understanding of yourself. And that is what's really cool about traveling and, living in Madagascar, being in the Peace Corps. Yeah. So I feel like my whole entire life, all the things I did led me to Madagascar, led me to joining the Peace Corps. It was truly a blessing in disguise because I didn't even want to come to Madagascar. I wanted to go to a Spanish-speaking country. I wanted to be fluent in Spanish, meet a Spanish-speaking lady, bring her home to Hawaii, have kids, and just surf all day. But that's not my life, and I'm okay with that. I think my life now is even better than what I thought it was. And I have the Peace Corps, and I have Madagascar to thank for that. So, in the end, I am an American, but I am a Hawaiian first. And me saying that I'm Hawaiian first isn't me disregarding the fact that I'm American, because I am American and I'm blessed. I'm so lucky to be American. because it comes with a lot of opportunities that a lot of people around the world don't have. I'm just luckier to be both Hawaiian and American. But we say in Hawaiian, he Hawaii'o, moa mo. I am Hawaiian always and forever. And that's me. Kamaka Dias. I'm part Korean, part Spanish, part Japanese, part Portuguese, part Caucasian. But all the way at the top, I'm Hawaiian. And maybe a little Malagasy if you guys would let me have that. Pita kabari. Thank you so much. And now we can ask a million questions and I'll answer as many as I can until they kick us out of here. Yeah. Oh, and I have a kado. I have a present, not a presentation. I have a video that I want to show everybody. It was my 2-year project that I worked on when I came to Madagascar. And you'll see. Mastu. Enjoy. It's going really slowly.
You turned toward me and looked so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything we said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie. This time, God, from underneath the rows of trees, we'll see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Shining forward, the wind is cold. I must return to the wild. Shining forward, the wind is cold. We must return to the wild. Follow me down, there's no one around. Lay back and take your socks and shoes right off. That natural light is so damn polite, can make you feel just like you were young again. Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, the fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild. We're running wild. Underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild. Shining forward, the wind is cold. You must return to the wild.
Yeah. So. And it's on YouTube if you want.
Hey guys, I'm Sean from NZ, New Zealand, and you might be wondering why I have Kadabini on. I've actually been growing my hair for
Hello, hello. Okay. All right. So, who has questions? And don't be Menata right now because you guys were asking a lot of questions earlier. Just raise your hand if you have any questions. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he asked if the Malagasy people are ancestors of the Polynesian people, like the Samoan, the Tongan, the Hawaiian people, or the other way around. I do not have that answer, but I know that we are all connected somehow. So basically, we're all family. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good question. I think we should look it up. I mean, we can look it up right now if we want. Yeah, cool. Thank you for your question. Yes. Oh, thank you.
Thanks. As I remember, you are already graduated. So I was wondering, what's your next step gonna be? That's the
So-
first question, and the
Mhm.
second question, you were a teacher here. So how did you manage with the student?
So first question. Oh, this is way louder. So first question, what am I going to do after the Peace Corps? Because next week I finish my service and then I have to go home. I have to leave. Yeah. So I'm happy to leave, or happy to go home, sad to leave, Mami fa mangidi. Because, this is truly my Taninjazaku Faru, my second home. But what comes next is very exciting because in America, we have this awesome thing called student loans. It's when you go to university and you borrow a lot of money, and then once you graduate, you have to pay it back. So I have $50,000 in student loans. Not Ari, but dollars. I wish it was Ari. So what I'm gonna do is, it's a crazy idea that I thought about when I joined or during my Peace Corps service. I'm gonna do all these side jobs and ask people, what can I do to help you, help me live very poor, live frugally, live with my grandma, and all the money I make, I'll put straight to my student loans, and I will document the whole entire year on YouTube. So online. So my whole entire year, it will be online of me paying off my student loans. So if you're wondering what I'm doing next year, just go online and type in Kamaka Dias 8 and you'll see. And that's what I'm doing. I want to write books. I want to open up a food truck in the future after I finish my student loans. I want to open up a food truck with Hawaiian and Malagasy infused dishes. Everything to do with coconut. So like rikoko, saramaso koko, bonbon koko, all of these things. And I want to open it up in Hawaii. And Malagasy people get their first meal for free. So come visit me. Just buy like a $2,000 round trip to Hawaii and you get one free meal. It's a good idea. So that's what I'm going to do after this. And your second question was, how did I handle all the Medicha students, all the rascal students in Alatsinaini Bakaru? So, when we come to Peace Corps, we have 3 months of training in Montasua, where we learn Malagasy for 4 hours a day for 3 months. But for me, I was an education volunteer, so we had practice teaching English, and we had sessions on classroom management, large classrooms, stuff like that. So I figured out a few tips, but what I personally did when I lived in Alatsinaini Bakaru was just be myself. I don't think I had to be too strict, but I couldn't be too friendly because then you lose all authority. So I was silly and I was direct, and I think that's what worked in my classroom. I think people respected me, and I'm not a very I don't get angry. I'm a very chill guy, so they know when I'm talking to them like this and I'm talking very slowly, then they knew they were in trouble. And that's how I handled the big classrooms. Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't easy. There was always Madicha students, and I got through it. Yeah.
I've
Yes.
sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
He asked me what is my favorite Malagasy dish, and that's an easy one. It's a ravi tutu. That's my favorite dish. Would eat that every single day. Yeah. I like it with henakisu with pork. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, I love the ravi tutu more. And I love it with coconut. Like when I went to Mbanda, I had feli mohogu with cocoa, and it's like a mati. Yeah. Yeah. It was so good. I love it. I love ravi tutu. But with coconut and henakisu with pork, I think it's the best. It's one of my favorite dishes ever. Yeah.
So, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, Hawaii is located quite far away from the United States
Hmm.
continent. So, can you tell us more about how did Hawaii join the United States? Is it that the people there voted to join the United States, or how did it happen and when?
Okay. So how did Hawaii become a part of the United States? And it's actually a very sad and long history. I don't want to talk about it too much. You could Google it maybe, or ask somebody else. I also don't want to get different facts wrong. But pretty much in 1893, the government, or it was a sovereign nation of Hawaii, was overthrown by the American government. And in 1896, if I'm not wrong, I think we became a territory of the United States. And I think in 1959, that's when we became the 50th state. But before all of this, when we were overthrown, the people that came to Hawaii said, you can't speak your language, you can't do your dances, you can't sing your songs, you can't do any of that. You can't teach Hawaiian in schools anymore. Only English is to be taught. So that's one of the reasons that the Hawaiian language almost died. And these 5 Hawaiian second how do you say that in English? It was a second second generation speakers of Hawaiian started this preschool called Punanaleo, the preschool that I went to revitalize the Hawaiian language. So from preschool up until 12th grade, you only learn Hawaiian and you only live in the Hawaiian ways. And from that point on, it started to grow. And now there's a big revitalization of Hawaiian that I'm very blessed to be a part of, because I have a responsibility to, share my culture, keep speaking the Hawaiian language and teach it to the future generation, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And that goes with any language. So that's a little bit about the history of Hawaii. You can look it up on Google. I think we can all make a line and look at the computer screen over there and just Google Hawaii, if that's cool.
We have another question
Not
from
sure.
Ford Defender,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
From the
Where are
American
they?
corner. So I don't know if Ford Defender is ready.
What, nothing?
Okay,
Ford.
yes. Okay, seems like we have technical problem. Okay, excuse me, Ford Defender, we do not hear you very well. So. Okay, so for the fan, we have problem with you. So please just stop it, maybe, and then we may get back to you later on. Sorry for that, for the fan. But
Right.
I think we have question from
All right. Well, let me just answer the question from Fort Dauphin. Eka.
Okay. Ikaw. Okay.
Hello?
Hi. So we really have trouble hearing you for the phone. So, Josh, maybe we can just cut the sound and we apologize to for the phone. Yes. In the meantime, I think we have a question from here. Okay, one there and here.
My question is, do all Hawaiian people have long names? What's your name again?
Do all Malagasy people have
Yeah.
long names?
Yeah.
Yes. The majority of Hawaiian names are very long and they have meaning to them. For example, my brother's name is Maikalani Kahanoa Kealoha Sonora Dias. My sister's name is Leali Kavehinani Okalani Sonora Dias. And my name is a shorter one, Kamaka Kupono Sonora Dias. So yes, Hawaiian names are very long, but I think it's cool. Yeah. I would love to give my my firstborn a Malagasy name, but I thought it would be cool to name him if it's a boy, Fitiavana Maika Lani. So Maika Lani is my brother's name, and in Hawaiian, Maika means from the, but in Malagasy it means hurry, and Lani in Hawaiian means heaven or the skies, and Lani in Malagasy means finished or it's out. So if I named him Fitiavana Maikalani in Malagasy, it would be love that runs out quickly, not the Hawaiian definition of the love from the heaven. So I have to think about giving him a Malagasy name because it's so similar, but the definitions are different.
My question is, you said there are many Japanese people in Hawaii. So what made them rush to live in Hawaii?
So this is kind of goes back to the history of Hawaii, where a lot of Japanese immigrants moved to Hawaii to work on the sugarcane plantation. And so that's how a lot of people ended up in Hawaii. Not just Japanese, but Portuguese people, Filipino people, all these other ethnicities. So that's why right now in Hawaii, the minority is the majority. So what I mean by that is there's not just one like type of person that lives there. For example, like here it's Malagasy people, but in Hawaii it's Japanese people, it's Hawaiian people, it's Samoan people, it's Tongan people, it's Filipinos, it's Micronesians, and all those like along those lines. Yeah. So it's very, very mixed. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I think. Oh, sugarcane afari. Yeah, sugarcane. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Back in the days. Well, I don't know the exact dates, but Talu.
Yeah, hello
Yes.
everyone.
I think you have a question.
My name is Fabien.
Nice to meet you, Fabien.
I totally apologize because I was late and I cannot follow what you told before, but many slides. My question is, as you talked about living comfort zone, it's not a piece of cake. So when you first came to Madagascar, can you tell us the hardness you coped with as you came here first? Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so leaving your comfort zone is very scary, especially if you come from one island and you have to go to this big place. But I think it started when I was young. So I went to Hawaiian Immersion School for the majority of my schooling, and I had less than 20 people in my class. From kindergarten until the 12th grade, I had about 100 students in my class. But I wanted to do more. Like I had a feeling like I needed to see more. So I moved islands to the island called Oahu to play sports. I played football and soccer over there. Our football team was not very good, but our soccer team got second place in the state tournament, so that was cool. So and it was scary. Like I wasn't just moving schools, down the road or to the other side of the island. I was moving to another island, to a place where I had no friends. I I didn't know what their fumba was, their culture. Uh, but I just went for it. So what I heard before is that nervousness and excitement comes from the same part of your brain. So it's all about flipping that switch and looking at it from a different way. So yes, I was very nervous to start this new chapter of my life. Same thing with going to Peace Corps, but I was also very excited to meet people, to learn the new geography of this place that I was living at. And from there on, I went to Spain. I went more outside of my comfort zone. I wanted to learn more. I talked to more people. I discovered, the more you discover, then the more you want to discover. Well, so it's crazy because the more of the world that you see, the smaller it gets. The more connections you make, and like you see all these similarities that just doesn't make any sense. And it's insane. Like so a quick little story. There was this girl from Hawaii that did research in Madagascar a couple months ago, and she reached out to me on was it Instagram, and she said she was coming to to Madagascar, and she was wondering if I was still here in the Peace Corps. And we met up and we talked a little bit, and she's actually from my exact hometown of Hilo. So she wasn't just from Hawaii, she was from my hometown. And we talked more, and we figured out that she went to preschool with my little sister. And that's what I mean by the more you explore, the more of the world you see, the smaller it gets. You realize, what do they say? Buri buri nitani? And that's so true, It's just such a small place. Yeah.
One question for Dauphin. I think they are ready now.
Oh, okay.
Yes. For Dauphin.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you guys hear us now?
Yes.
Hervé, can you hear us?
Yes, Jose. Yeah, go ahead. We hear you very well.
Okay, hey Kamaka, it is good to talk to you again, and
Hey.
so excited that you are a part of the program today, and thanks so much for letting us learn a little bit about Hawaii and also your service to our country. The question is, what's next after Madagascar? And the second question is that you have been exposed to a lot of culture, meaning that you have been maybe learning a lot of languages. So what do you think are the main secret of becoming so fluent or an accomplished virtuoso at a language? Thank you.
Okay. So I explained to the people in Tana what I was going to do after, what I am going to do after Peace Corps. And to keep it brief, I'm going to go home and start to plan, because next year I'm going to pay out, I have this crazy idea to pay out $50,000 of student loans in 1 year. And I'm going to do that by working different jobs and doing these side hustles, is what we like to call them, and not spending any money, living with my grandma, putting all my money towards my student loans, and documenting my whole entire year of me paying off my student loans online, like on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. So if you want to know what I'm doing after Madagascar, just check out Kamaka Dias 8 on YouTube, and then you'll find out. I know access to Wi-Fi is not always the best here in Madagascar, but if you ever have time, you can check it out. The second question was what are some tips for learning languages? Is that correct? Yeah? Is that what
Yes.
Okay. So I think what I've seen is that once you learn another language, then you're this could just be me. I don't want to speak for everybody. your brain just expands and you start to make connections with other languages. So you start to use that to your advantage. For example, like I knew Hawaiian, so learning the grammar of Malagasy was very easy for me because I knew that because of my previous knowledge of learning another language. But if you've never learned another language before, I think the main thing to increase your knowledge of a language is this interest. If you're really excited in learning it and you see maybe a purpose of it, then there's nothing that's going to stop you from learning it. For example, I came to Madagascar and I knew the only way I'm going to be able to miari voucher to bargain for all my food and taxi rides and all these stuff, and to talk with the Malagasy people and to learn about them was to speak Malagasy. So I had to speak Malagasy. And that motivated me to continue to learn, to keep growing my my knowledge, my knowledge of the Malagasy language. And the same thing happened when I learned Spanish. I thought the language was super cool. I thought it would be cool to speak with other people. I also just thought it would be cool to know a lot of languages. So that's some of the reasons and the things that motivated me to learn languages. But just being interested in it is the main thing. Because if you're not interested in anything, it's not going to be fun. So, yeah, English is cool. Malagasy is cooler. Yeah. Meti?
My question.
Thank you, Kamaka. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no problem.
That was great.
A pleasure.
Because in the video, I've seen the Hawaiian flag, so I wonder why you still put the Union Jack on your flag, and what is the real signification of your? Because it seems really colorful and it's beautiful too.
Yeah, so his question is, why is the Union Jack on top of the Hawaiian flag? And the Union Jack is the flag they fly in Britain. So I just learned this recently, was that when the state of Hawaii was created, one of the monarchs, or maybe even before that, they were really good allies with Britain, with the United Kingdom. So when our flag was created, they used the Union Jack as in, the Union Jack influenced the Hawaiian flag. And the stripes underneath it, the red and blue stripes, has other significance as well. But I don't remember that. Yeah. So that's why everybody always thinks it's the British flag, but it's not.
My question, my name is Sulu, I am from IRC, My question is very simple. Very, very simple. Hawaii is now speaking only English language. Huh?
Yeah.
Wherever they have several people with several language over there. How could you explain the mechanism to enable them to be understood between them one by one, language by language, and it become a culture for Hawaii at all? It's not difficult.
So you're talking about creating a new system to learn another language besides English? Is that correct?
Yes, but I mean to say it's very simple. Within any kind of culture, any kind of habit, any kind of languages, USA tried just to set up a way of learning to enable them to speak in a single one way, to make them understood one with the other. Okay? Right now, Hawaii is USA department. Maybe that kind of mechanism have been already just set up before they are just learning it. You understand me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for example, I think English is becoming so prominent, like all over the world, and English is being taught everywhere. And that kind of goes back to the colonizers, just like Madagascar was colonized by the French, and that's why there's a big French influence, and that's why the majority of Malagasy people speak, if they were educated, they speak French. And so it's easy to to teach and to implement those systems of schooling if it's a big language like English or
Yes.
French or Spanish. But for a smaller language like Hawaiian, when there's not a lot of speakers and a lot of native language, if there's nobody speaking it, it's just gonna die, and it's harder to get people interested in learning that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. May I just a few detail? I take the case. I get the survey of the language at Hawaii. Only English is spoken over there. In despite of all their languages that they have already spoken before the colonization. And that means what? That means this, unless I am mistaken, you set up just a way of learning, okay, toward an education. And after education, all the language can be accepted by the same mechanism, a same way of mechanism toward English language. You understand me?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That's a question. That's a question above my pay grade. Something that the government would have to answer, or people in a position of power. Because if I had the choice, then yes, it would be very simple, to implement these things. But it's not as simple as it sounds, and especially when you're just a random person like me. I can't just tell everybody, hey, speak Hawaiian, hey, learn Malagasy. Like, it's not as easy as it sounds. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for your question. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I saw I saw on the slide, and you got around our country, and you felt the environment. So my question is, how do you see the future holds of Madagascar forest and the animals out there? So how do you feel the future hold? How the Malagasy people handle their forest? Because you got around there, and you got out there, so I don't say very much,
Yeah.
but how do you say?
Yeah, that's a good question. And like I said, I don't know a lot about this, but I've seen it. I've seen it, just driving throughout Madagascar and at my site, like people burning the forest. There's a lot of deforestation, and I've also seen a lot of conservation projects going on. I don't know too much about that, but I'm hopeful. I hope for the best for Madagascar. But when I see all the forests burning down and all all those other things, it's very easy to be kiwi, to be discouraged. But I'm an optimist, and I always hope for the best, and I always see the good in things. So that's all I can give to you is my positivity and my hope for the Malagasy people and Madagascar. But I'm not very mahai at the things about the environment and conservation. So I don't want to, overstep my boundary. So I'll just say I'm very hopeful. Yes. Yeah.
Well, this is not a question, but a request. Would you mind removing your hat? Just want to look like
Oh.
it.
Yes. My hair might be really weird right now, but yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah. I think maybe a couple months, then it'll be longer like this. Yeah. Yeah.
Like Japanese.
Yeah, it's very Japanese. My mustache is very Japanese. They call it the Fu Manchu. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Afapu. Yeah. And oh wait, quickly, yeah. So when you grow out your hair, you get to this awkward phase of your hair growth where it looks really weird. So that is another reason why you wear hats, to cover that. Mhm.
for example, like we have Mirna, Pitzleu, and so on. Like how in like one dialect or many or
Yeah. Yeah, so because so few people speak Hawaiian, there isn't really a dialect. It's just the language. I think at some point there were maybe only 2,000 native speakers of the Hawaiian language, and it's only located in Hawaii. And I'm not sure about. I think on maybe back in the days on different islands there were different maybe different dialects for, but I think it's more of a generational thing, not really a Hawaiian thing. Like for example, we would say pua'a, which means pig, but some older people would say pu'a, which is like the same thing but just a little different. So for the most part, there's not no real dialect, but in Hawaii we do have this language called pidgin, and that I would say is kind of like a slang or a dialect, only local to Hawaii. Like we would say, "Let's grind." Do you understand that? We go grind. That means let's go eat. Yeah. Or we would say, "Oh, your slippers is all hammer jang." Do you understand? Uh-huh. Yes, kind of, but there's also just like a lot of different ways to say anything. We would say, "Oh, your slippers is still hammer jang," and it's the way we say it, which means like, "Oh, your slippers are busted. Your slippers are really old. You know, your slippers is all hammer jang." Yeah. So it's the way you say it, and then certain words that make the pidgin language. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
My question is simple. Just want to ask you: did you teach English all around Madagascar, or just at Alatsna in Bacaro?
Alatsna in Bacaro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So my primary project was to teach English in Alatsna in Bacaro at the CEG and the Lycée. I had 2 sections of 60 students in my CEG and 2 sections of 70 students in my Lycée. Yeah, it was a lot, a lot of students. So I only taught English over there, but during my first year, my grand vacances, I went to Diego up north, and I worked at an orphanage for 1 month, and that's the only other place that I taught English. And I also learned nunchucks in Diego. That's why I love Diego. Yeah. Yeah. So I wasn't a teacher before this. I'm not sure if I will teach after this, but you know, I always tell people about Madagascar, about the Malagasy people, and educate people about life, about the world, not just English. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Hawaiian dance? Oh, Hawaii. I'm not gonna dance. See my mandi. But-
Hawaiian music. It's like a wave of waves.
Yeah, so like the Hawaiian music scene and the Hawaiian dances, it's very like island like. So it's very chill, very relaxed. But the traditional Hawaiian music, we use different instruments and we have certain dances, which I'm not gonna try and embarrass myself. But yeah, we have different instruments like an ipu, which is like a gourd, like the gourds that they have, I think, in the deep south, that they make from the pumpkin, maybe, and you make it into an instrument, and it's like this, like two circles, and then you do it on the ground like this, and then people start like dancing and doing all stuff like that. Yeah. So it's really cool. I wish I was Mahai because I would give you a demonstration. But yeah, that's a manata. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you can you speak Japanese?
I cannot speak Japanese, but I know some words just because it's around. Just like living in Madagascar, I don't speak French, but I know a lot of French words because I live here and there's such a big French influence. Like I know embouteillage, I know salivaza, I know I know a lot of words like that, and the French numbers, which I'm really not too good at. When I go ask for the price, I'm like cochinanti, and they're like, was it like 25,000? And I'm like, Cochina Miniariari? Dimmi arrivo. So, yeah, I'm not super mahai at French or Japanese, but I know some words. Yeah.
Okay, time's up. I don't know if you have any last words to conclude.
Yeah, so I guess we're running out of time. We started on Futona Vaza, so I'm surprised that, we did get a lot of time together. So I'm really happy, and I'm really happy that everybody came, and I'm honored that you were interested in my presentation and about my Tanjazana. And I can't wait to do the same when I go back to Hawaii and talk about the Malagasy people and Madagascar, because you all are so amazing and so welcoming, and like the Malagasy people really make me feel at home. And my favorite thing about the Peace Corps and about being here isn't like the food and traveling to all these beautiful places, but it's really the Malagasy people. You guys are so unique, and I thank you all so much just for your interest in us and accepting us and not treating us like a vaza and hating us. So yeah, that's all I have to say. And misocho betsuka. Yeah. Oh, and if you want, you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube if you want to see what I'm going to be doing in the next year. Kamaka Dias, and then the number 8. You can check it out. Yeah, I make videos talking about my time in Madagascar. Maybe you can check it out. Give it a like. Yeah, I would appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
Thank you.
I don't know if Kamage has the time, but if you want to talk to him offline, because this is now over.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk to him in the IRC. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for the fan.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Manara Kanjai.
Bye bye. Have a nice afternoon.
Eat some good food for me. I hear there's a lot of good oysters in Fort Dauphin. Yeah. Surf a lot for me.
Kamaka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Time.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay. Yeah. I think.
Okay. So as I said, this is now over. But if you guys